working class people. It means mothers go without food to feed their children, as commonplace in some of our communities not too far from here. It's the end point of the political violence of Thatcherism. That's what we're experiencing right now, and we know there's no saviour. It's not going to be Burnham, it's not going to be Zach Polanski, it's not going to be any of them. And that's why we're talking about how we build and organise in this room tonight. So after our welcome, we're now going to hear from another political hero, which is John Dunn of the All Green Truth and Justice campaign.
My English.
Yes.
It's coming to summer when the first two speakers say everything that I were about to say. So I'm a bit stumped, so but isn't it a great weekend? And it started off great, with some great news this morning. I'm not going to speak ill of the dead, because they always say if you can't say anything nice about anybody who's died, don't say anything. So my lips are sealed. And I've got an alibi for this morning. Apparently we're looking for 10 million suspects. But isn't it a great occasion that we gather here on the greatest workers' celebration probably anywhere in the world? And it's right what Laura said. We're not here just to look back, we're not here to celebrate what was. I always have a saying that keeps me going, it's kept me going since I think it was 2013, that Thatcher's dead and we're still here. And that's important, because you know when she said we saw off the enemy within, she didn't just mean me and Alan and the likes of every miner that had been on strike. She thought she'd destroyed the whole working class and trade union movement. And she'll be turning in hell tomorrow when she sees 250,000 people on these streets celebrating this great movement of ours. And that's why I think the Durham Miners Gala, and it's got to be a great testament to the likes of Alan, Stephen Guy, my two great friends, Davy Guy and Davy Hopper, that have kept this alive. When you think about it, there's not been a pit in Durham for many decades. And there's going to be 250,000 people at the Miners Gala tomorrow, celebrating what we stood for. People who are involved in every struggle that's going on in Britain today, striking bin workers, people in other unions who are taking action, and they're not just here to celebrate the day, and they're not just here to listen to great speakers on the field. They're here because it's an important part of our future, our present and our past. The fact that we still march on the second Saturday of every July. We come together in unity. We don't let petty differences divide us. And I think that's important. We can all disagree on individual things, but there are too many of us who say, I can't support him because I don't agree with him on that. I can't support him on that because he supports Sunderland. I support Chesterfield, by the way. And I'm not against Sunderland, it's Mansfield I hate. So yeah, it's going to be a great day. But let's take something with it, because it's joyous, it's full of hope, it's full of optimism. And in these dark, dark times, it's dead easy to get dragged down into doom and gloom and thinking, we've got Trump over there, we've got wars in Iraq, we've got a genocide in Gaza, we've got mass poverty on our streets We've got people fleeing wars to escape to safety who are then being demonised. Well, I'll tell you something. Nobody in a small boat has ever threatened me. What I'm worried about is the people in big boats, the people with the yachts in Monaco. And we shall moan who nicked 200 million by selling fake PPE at the time of the pandemic, who escaped on a yacht that apparently doesn't belong to her. It's in a trust or something like that, so we can't grab it if we want to get that money back. She escaped. She don't live in a dying town, in a dying community. She's sailing around the Mediterranean. As I say, they're the boat people to be afraid of. They're the enemy, not people fleeing wars and things like that. And when we talk about enemies, I heard some great statesman from what was formerly known as the Labour Party say we've got to be on a war footing. Apparently China are spying on us. Now, I've been to China and I thought it was a lovely country. I couldn't believe how nice people were. We're told that the Russians are ready to march through Europe after they've finished seeing off the fascists in Ukraine. I tell you something, the only thing the Russians have ever done to me and to Alan, they sent us food in 84, 85. We couldn't read what the hell it were on them packets, mind you. You had to wait till you opened it. But yeah, that was international solidarity. And that's what we need in these times. Because we don't just face a threat from reform in this country. We face the threat worldwide that neoliberalism is running rampant. And why? Because our so-called left leaders have failed us. They bowed the knee to the great capitalist God in the sky and said, we've got to accept your dictates. You've got to suffer in order to build a prosperous future. How long have we heard that? We've always been told. Alan talked about the coal owners at the time of the 26 lockout. Miners had to take a massive drop in wages and work longer hours because the price of coal had fallen. And they perhaps couldn't afford another butler or something like that. So workers have always paid the price for every crisis of capitalism. And now it's time to realise that there are no messiahs going to ride over any hills and save us. It's us. And I take hope tomorrow I will be amongst some of the best people on this planet. And I say that without hesitation. People who believe and who know that a better world is possible. And more importantly, people who are prepared to struggle for it. And whether that's struggle in the workplace, fighting for better conditions and pay, and whether it's the struggle against genocide, marching for Gaza, they're all part of the same struggle against being inconvenient. So after tomorrow, take back that message. There is hope for a better future. You'll see dozens and dozens of banners tomorrow with one, what we know the future should and could be. And comrades, it's a battle still worth fighting for. Some of us in here have been fighting for 42 long years. We were told, give up. I'm proud to be part of the All Greek Truth and Justice campaign. We were told we couldn't have a public inquiry by Amber Rudd because the police had learned lessons. Tell that to anybody holding up a sign saying I support Palestine action. Tell that to people because we never ever gave in and never ever doubted, and because we had faith in our class. That's the important thing. Nothing would move in this country if people like you and people like all of us didn't drag ourselves out of bed at all times of the day and made sure the wheels of industry turn. Comrades, we have the power. We've got to learn about that. We've got to be prepared to use it, because I tell you, there are more battles coming, comrades, and I'm ready for the next one.